Welcome to the Country Place Greenhouse Show. Today we're going to be looking at the front of the greenhouse. We've decorated up with cannas and some begonias, and then we just planted some caladiums. We're going to see how that works out. It gets morning sun, which is great for the plants we have, and afternoon shade. Now, one thing about cannas, and if you do have a canna, they'll get old, the blooms will get old, and you have to go ahead and trim them in a certain way, because you see right here, this part here that's coming up, that's another flower coming up. So when you cut a canna, you always got to cut it here. Now I'm not going to cut this one because it's got a lot of flowering yet to do. I just trimmed these the other day. But do not cut down here, because you'll just ruin the whole thing and you'll eliminate the flowers on it coming up. So again, you leave that little section there coming, and you only cut the stem right there and to get the flower out once the flower has been spent. Okay, that shows you a little bit about the cannas, and they make a spectacular display. And I think that it'd be a great, you can buy a big pot like we got those in, 3 begonias around them, some dragon wing begonias, look real good. We're trying to caladiums, we just planted them this morning. They look a little wilted right now, but we'll see how they do. The begonias, sometimes you have to go ahead and trim them a little bit, and you can just cut a little bit off of that begonia. You're not going to hurt it. It's going to grow right back in a short period of time. So that's one thing you can do with these dragon wings. Now the dragon wings do take morning sun better if you have a morning sun and some afternoon shade, or vice versa. They don't like full sun. They will survive, but they don't do quite as well. Now down here we have some boxwoods that we planted up, and these are for Springfield. These will be growing here now, and then later on when the pansies get done, they'll go ahead and put the boxwoods in for winter decoration, because a lot of times inside a pot the pansies don't live over winter at all. Okay, we're going to move on to another segment here now. Okay, what we have here is the perennial hibiscus. The perennial hibiscus starts blooming probably about a month ago, but these are really, really beautiful, and they'll come back every year. We have one hibiscus that has been coming back for well over 25 years. So this is something you can do. We have them in this pink, we have some white, and we also have a red one. This red one is something else. I mean, that's a great big flower, and they're quite spectacular. Now that the good Japanese beetle have gone by, they seem to be doing quite well. When the Japanese beetle were here, they kind of loved them as good as they love some other plants too. So we do have those available, and the cost on them is $9 for, $15 per pot. Just a couple things on the landscape. I picked up these steed holly, that's S-T-E-E-D holly, and they would make a good corner display or something around your steps on either side. I think they're really a nice looking holly. They grow about 7 foot tall. You can trim them up. They look like little Christmas trees, and it might make a real nice decoration for you. Okay, what we have here are some succulents that we're planting up, and we put them in a larger pot. But we do have a good selection of succulents this year, and that's something that a lot of people have really liked. And stop by, we can take a look at what we have. What we have here, we have a lot of petunia baskets. Now you can see underneath the basket, they can be just trimmed a little bit. But one thing about petunias, if you have petunia baskets that have gone long and stringy, it's a good time to fertilize them. Well, you should have been fertilizing them all summer. Petunias love fertilizer. They tend to get a little long and a little leggy if you don't go ahead and take care of them. In the background behind the petunias we have the flowering kale and cabbage, and that will be coming along later on as the weather cools down. Now over here right now on this side we have the vinca baskets. The vinca basket is probably one of the better baskets for you to buy this time of the year. They take the sun a little bit more, and a lot more, matter of fact, and they're always full of flower, and so that is your best selection for a basket if you need to have one. Okay, we're going to go up to the mums now. What we have here is we have about 2.5 acres of mums up here in this range. Most of these are big pots. They are the 12-inch patio pot, like this right here. We also have this in a 12-inch mum pan, and then we have the 9-inch mum pan. So we got 3 different sizes. We have the 9-inch, then we have the 12-inch mum pan, and then we have the bigger patio pot. These are coming along real well. You can see right over here, these here are starting to have little buds on them. So they'll be ready around mid-September, somewhere in that bracket where they'll show a fair amount of color. Now, you don't want to go ahead and buy them like right now. If you're to buy a mum that's showing a lot of color right now, it's not going to last you to fall color. It's not going to provide you to fall color. But of course, if you need it for a party, if you want to decorate up, that's good enough. But we don't shade any of our plants, so all of our plants come in natural season. But we have 2 houses. We have another house that is exactly like this. It has the same area, about 2.5 acres, and then we have about 1 acre of mums out front of retail. So if you're interested in a market for mums, we have a good selection. We sell to a lot of groups that raise money. They resell them to customers in Louisville and all the way up in the mountains in Breathitt County and different areas, Estill County and Lexington. So we have a lot of area that we cover and taking the mums to. And if you know some group that would like to contact us, they can do so on my cell phone. It's 502-424-2674. That's 502-424-2674. And we have basically the colors of mums that we have are yellow, red, orange, a violet color, pink, and white. Those are the colors that we have. We do have one that is a combination of 3 different colors together in the patio pots only. Well, this covers a segment on mums and all, and I do hope that you'll take a look at it. There you go. Okay. Now, I used to have a problem with my shoelaces always coming untied. This is not related to flowers or anything like that, but it's just related to good old common sense. And I learned this from David Wade when I was about 64 years old, so it's been a long time that I had my shoes untying, and kind of a pain in the neck, or pain in whatever. But now I go ahead, when I tie my shoes, of course I go ahead that way. I make this first loop. I used to always go around this way, but now I come underneath, over the top, and then through it, and make the tie. Now you can see this knot here is a square knot. Well, that thing don't come out, and you can go all day long, and it saves a lot of time and a lot of aggravation. The only time my shoelaces come untied now is if I have one of these get long or something and I step on it. But it really made a difference, and it really helped. So maybe you're younger or something, and you won't have to wait till you're 64 years old to learn how to tie your shoes. I wish somebody had gone ahead and showed me when I was younger, and would have saved me a lot of time. And we've showed this to our employees and different things and to people, and it's really helped them out a whole lot. Just a small tidbit of information for you. I'm Bernie with Country Place Greenhouse. I'd like to thank you for listening today, and stop by and see us. We're located directly across from the Lebnaon Springfield Airport on Highway 55.